celebrating Father's Day as a father. You had a more interesting vernacular for it, Andy, pre-show. I don't know if you want to share that with the people.
No, God, no. But no, yes, Father's Day weekend is upon us. Don't forget to call your dad, grandpa, stepdad, whatever. Make some phone calls, send a card, buy him a grill. I don't know. Watch some golf with him if he's around. But yeah, I will be taking it easy on Sunday, and probably it's going to rain too, so I'm going to get out of a lot of stuff. Watch some golf, watch some soccer, watch some basketball. I think there's a Sunday game for sure. Possibly some game sevens coming up. One game seven for sure. Tonight we're going to have more game sevens possible, depending on tonight's results. We'll see how that all goes. I mean, thoughts on last night? It was kind of I bet the Harden points under for a little bit, and then he scored like 14 in the second quarter, and I went and did something else, and then I caught up to the fourth quarter and realized it was still alive, and then I got to cheering for the Bucks. Like, let's get this out to a big lead, and then 2 minutes later, it's like a 5-point game, obviously, because I was cheering for something. And then it was like a 14-0 run. So that was a beautiful little run. Once I saw Harden on the bench, I celebrated with a Coors Banquet beer and got on with my evening. But yeah, that's Sixers tonight, Jazz tonight, both team. What do you call a team who's on the brink of elimination? Like
a team on the brink of elimination. I don't think
there's like a good word for it. But anyway, the teams
we'll work on that. But
the teams who could be eliminated tonight are the favorites. So, I mean, if chalk prevails, we will get 2 more game sevens. I know you didn't make any bets on this. I'll probably just look for some props myself once we get there tonight. But any thoughts on and honestly, I won't watch the Jazz game. That's too late.
Yeah, quickly last night, I think that big run by the Bucks at the end of the second half really put the Nets kind of in pause for the second half. So I thought you really saw them throttle down, and I think what we'll see is a really tight and entertaining Game 7. I think the Nets are probably in pretty good shape there. We'll see that line is starting to open and materialize a little bit. But tonight, my 76ers, in their attempt to not get eliminated from the playoffs, back in Atlanta, 3.5-point favorites. I guess they've taken a little bit of money. I think this opened closer to 3. Producer Dan messing with me there. I don't really appreciate that at all, but we'll see how it goes tonight for the Sixers. I think they're going to win the first half. I think it's going to look a lot like the last 2 games. I just hope the ending's different. I hope that they find a way to get Tobias Harris some baskets, because if they don't, it's going to look just like it has the first 2 games. So try to be optimistic, Andy, about the Sixers and frankly, our future, honestly. It'd be nice if they could win this series and at least catch the first part of that each way.
Are you worried about that trend, though? Dan threw that at me this morning. I'm like, yeah, we got to put that up eventually. Like, I don't think that's probably a truly actionable
I'm
trend.
not in an emotional state to respond to that right now. And I really don't appreciate how surprising that was for me. So I'm going to pass on that question.
It was a surprise. I don't think it's an actionable angle, but it does kind of scare me. I have some Sixers futures too. I'm nervous. I think they get it done tonight, if only because I do want some game sevens. And yeah, futures would be nice. I don't have the each way.
Official.
I need him to straight up win the East. Although it's once we get there, if we have some injuries still to the Nets or Bucks, I'm not sure who we end up with on that game 7. We could get our way there. We could end up with a way to buy out of that if I really had to. Maybe the Sixers get through, win game 1, and then I'll puss out and finally do some hedging. But yeah, I'm excited for both these. I think maybe some more unders. I can't believe I didn't take the under the other day. I kind of leaned that way last night. I mean, it got a little closer, but man, once we're sitting there at like 150 points with not that much time left, I was like, God, that would have felt good to have this one. So
I think if you're going to do unders especially on the Sixers-Hawks game, wait live. They've really pushed pace early, both teams, and there's kind of been some big numbers in the first quarter, first half. So wait there, go live. The other game feels kind of like an over game to me. I don't know why. I mean, I look at my numbers; they're a little higher. It's tough to trust any model in the playoffs, just simply how different the pace and things are. But look at the first couple games. I think this number could actually get out of hand, but I wonder if the better move is to look at like a Jazz team total over or something like that. So still kind of making my mind up there. This game, again, it's the classic playoffs at this point. It's just totally uncertain We've got less than 100% Donovan Mitchell, no Kawhi Leonard, it
Yeah.
looks like. We'll see if Paul George, who's notoriously been up and down in the playoffs, is whether or not he stays up or comes down. So again, I'll try to see how that goes live. I'll be looking for live over spots in that one versus the Sixers Hawks game. I think I'll accrue some under positions probably by the end of the first quarter, middle of the second.
I do envy you guys a little. Like at least you have teams to banter about. Timberwolves haven't made. I think the Timberwolves made the playoffs a few years ago, got swept by like the Pelicans or something awful, embarrassed. Like it was a really bad first round. That was about it. It was one of those shitty 8 seeds where it's like, oh, this team isn't even good. Like it was a bad conference that year. So nothing for me in these playoffs to get excited about. It might be a while before my Timberwolves are good again. But Euros already, you know what? We had a winner under the belt yesterday at this point, and then that was it. Like I couldn't get a goal to get the both teams to score. What was my other one yesterday that fell flat? Either way, the last 2 bets didn't do well. I'm back in the red. Even with the win this morning, that was a nice win. I placed some alts on that too. I was kind of pissed about the penalty kick. I wanted a 0-0. Might have had some alts, but alt under 1.5 didn't get there. So another under. These are stressful. I hate these. I said I wasn't going to watch. I watched anyway. You got to turn flash score off. You can't have that going if you're watching soccer because flash score is faster. You don't want to see, especially on an under, you don't want to see the flash score icon pop up. And then you're like, well, shit. And then you have to watch the goal after you know it's already done. So, yeah, the under 2.25 minus 121. That's what I'm going to go with in Croatia. I don't think Croatia is going to be good. I think England put out a conservative lineup, beat a team that's kind of down. And really, I'm not too excited about the Czechs either. Their XG was not very high for a team that scored 2 goals. Your XG isn't going to be very high. Your expected goal, kicking one from midfield, isn't very high to begin with. I think that was like a .03 expected goal. It was that was really an error by the goalkeeper. So the Czech Republic aren't a team I'm too afraid of at this point either. So under 2.5, under 2.25, excuse me, is minus 121. And you can see you're paying juice for this under. You could play it under 2 at plus money if you really wanted. I'll probably play some alts in here too. I think most likely for me, probably Croatia 1-0. I might play an exact score because I get a little weird on that too. I do like alts and derivatives and basically in everything I do. It's like the NFL stuff when you bet one of those overs and you do remember the old Tony book? We used to do the over like 60.5, over 66.5, over 70.
All the
I am gonna miss that one a lot. That was the Texans. What was it? The Texans Chiefs playoff game that scored like 80 points. That was the best one ever. That left me very rich after that game.
It was like 60.5 or something, right? It was some absurd number at halftime.
It had hit by the halftime. Like the original the normal over under total for the game had hit by halftime. So that was lovely. Hopefully we don't have that in Croatia. But then the England match, if you're unfamiliar with this is like a 6-way market, double. You're betting, and this wager is me betting England will be leading at half and then will be winning the game. So it can't be a draw. It is a double 3-way market. You can bet draw with England winning. You can bet, you can get some big numbers on like Scotland to win the first half, England to win the game. Obviously, that's a lot harder to do because you have to come back and actually win. But yeah, England. This one I placed this morning. I put it in. I didn't feel like changing it after I saw the weather, but I am a little nervous. It looks like shit in London right now. It's dumping rain, cats and dogs, or whatever the British saying is for that. I'm not sure if they use cats and dogs as well, but it looks nasty over there. So a little sketched out about this. If they go with another ugly conservative lineup, I'm not feeling as good, but I do think there's a very big gulf in talent between England and Scotland. So we will go with the England double result at minus 116. And, no shows tomorrow and Sunday. Obviously, I'll just end up tweeting some stuff out because my streak is alive. I'm like the, the Iron Horse, who was before Ripken? Lou Gehrig? Is that
Yes,
who
Lou
had the?
Gehrig.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like the Lou Gehrig of betting Euros right now. So we will roll on with that. And hey, I bet your tennis pick yesterday, and that's still in the account. What's up? What gives? Do we got rain there
It's
too, or what?
raining. It's been raining in London. It's been raining and all that stuff. You can't play tennis. There's no roof. It's a whole thing. So we still got Vekic -3 from yesterday. And actually, thanks to the rain, we got a chance to talk about here Mrs. Anastasia Potapova. She is an underdog playing Alms Jabeur. I'm trying to look at the schedule right now. It's hard to figure out. They just, I believe, started play on the first match, and this was the second or third match. Actually, play isn't underway on any matches. We'll see if we get any tennis today, but this is the third match in order. So you've got some time to go around and hunt for this one a little bit. Just have this much closer. Potapova is a player I've talked about earlier in the week. We played against her with Stojanovic. Just really high variance, has a very high level she can achieve, and is really comfortable on grass. I believe she won or finished second in Wimbledon as a junior. So that's always a good sign. It's, again, hard to find a lot of players that have played a lot on grass. Alms Jabeur has a great game, should be perfect for the surface, but I have this closer to +150. So +200 would play this all the way down to probably +175. +180 probably is a little tighter, but I like her a lot in this spot as an underdog. And again, we've got Vekic here and talked about this yesterday. Make sure you play the spread here instead of the money line. She looks a little banged up. If you are going to play a money line, make sure it's at a book that will cancel in the event of retirement, withdrawal, something like that. So go through and make sure you do that. And again, I put -3, -120 up here. You'll see some cheap 3.5s. I would prefer the -3 to -120, even -125. If you're looking at a 3.5, -110 is probably a little too expensive. Might be okay, but I would want less than standard juice on the 3.5.
Yeah, and I was quickly checking this while you're talking with the Potpova bet because somebody asked about Royal Ascot this morning. So I went on to, TVG and started looking, and there was a horse named Potapova, like literally same spelling and everything this morning. And I'm like, shoot, I should go bet that. And then I got busy with soccer and golf and everything. I forgot to, and I said, well, maybe I'll go bet it now, but that race is already done, and she got ninth place. I
Good
I
thing we
don't even
missed
know
it.
if I don't even know if it's a mare. This could be a boy horse for all I
Could be.
know. I'm not sure. This was it was
That'd
just
have
a
been a double
thoroughbred race.
Potapova parlay. Ooh.
Yeah, Potapova probably would not have paid. Took ninth place. This I don't understand this Royal Ascot stuff. There's like 25 horses in some of these races. Like I'm
It's
gonna
a
have to
lot.
watch the next one. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So, all right,
Yeah,
Potapova, you're 2-1. These 2-1 underdogs have been hitting at a decent clip this last week.
not too
It's
shabby. It's been good
nasty.
on the grass.
Yeah, grass has been fun. So Vekic, if they play it, and Donna, I even know her name. So, we did get the sweep yesterday in golf. It took a little doing. Um, the first two were earlier, and then the last one we ended a 90-minute delay for the marine layer, the ground clouds, as someone in the chat called them, the fog
I like
put us
that. That was
back.
my
So
favorite.
not everybody got to finish yesterday because of they just killed it for darkness once it got a little later in the day. So Grace over Wyndham Clark, he ended up winning by 3 strokes. It just took until today to cash that. So 3-0 on the daily bets, which helps because some of my outrights are not doing very good. Webb Simpson. There we go. Webb Simpson shot like 100. He's dead. I mean, Reed's there, Rory's there. Oosthuizen, he's right there. Like he ended
Louis,
up Louis ended up tied for the lead after round one,
golf's
which is
Lego
nice.
man.
So he is there. He's ready to take one down for me after letting me down last time. I did tweet out that I played Sync over Eric Van Ruyen again this morning. That was one I'm just going to run back. He's actually Sync's down a stroke right now, but they're very early on. They've only played 4 and 6 holes respectively. That's why I tweeted that out, because it started well before the show. I am on Laird over Fratelli. Dylan Fratelli's a fade for me, has been for a bit. Neither of these men played very well. In fact, none of these 4 guys played very well yesterday. These are just some numbers plays based on getting a dog price on Laird. And then Palmer over Kevin Na. I put Ryan Palmer. I think Palmer and Na are right there in the I need a good round, otherwise I'm missing the cut spots. Actually, Fratelli and Laird are kind of right there too. These guys are all about 2 to 5 over. So Palmer over Na, minus 116. I have Na's bit of a fade here as well. He shot 6 over 77 yesterday. Palmer wasn't that much better. These are all afternoon matches. None of these tee times start until 2:09, 1:58, excuse me, local West Coast time. So these matches don't start until 5 p.m. Eastern. This will take a while to get these
That's
going.
nice.
You have
cocktail and some golf.
Yeah, you have plenty of time. I know that was weird last night. It's just dark. It's like they're still playing golf out on the West Coast. So yeah, you have literally like 6 hours before any of these start. Laird over Fratelli, Palmer over Na. If I have anything else, I'll get them out this weekend. I will be, like I said, watching a ton of this. I'm not going to be doing a ton of anything else except watching some NBA and maybe some tennis. Who knows? I'll probably watch some men's. Is Corda dead now?
Little tennis, little soccer. You kind of smooth with it. Then all of a sudden, there's some U.S. Open. You kind of enjoy that. You have a little dinner while you watch the final shots on golf. Then there's some basketball. It's all happening. They were thinking about the dads.
So let's go Usti?
Louis.
Let's go Louis. Let's go
play Louis
Joel.
on Monday for the entire show.
If he wins, we will open the show with Louis by.
If the Sixers somehow win the series, I'm going to play the Sixers song on loop on my phone in the background. You're going to have to.
And we will not pay for the rights for either of those songs. You will just have to come after us, their record industry. Otherwise, don't forget to give our sponsor a click. WinBet, $500 risk-free bet. You can play these on, let's say, maybe the A's or the Indians. That's what Patrick in the chat's playing. If you want to bet some baseball, if you want to bet some tennis, Potapova wouldn't be a bad look.
No baseball Friday. Sorry, folks.
Yeah, I just kind of got lazy with the guest thing this week because I was busy with some other stuff. We'll have a bunch of guests next week. We'll get some.
Just DM back. Frank. He'll answer.
Well, and honestly, really, I just missed Alex. Like, I just didn't want to share him with anybody. I wanted just some Alex time this week. But so
you're sweet.
Go to the pinned tweet at BrownBagBets on Twitter. All the links are there. The BetSperts account just tweeted out a link where you can get it downloaded to your phone. If you follow at BetSperts, you should follow that. Follow at _Noops. That is Alex's Twitter. Mine is at AndyMSFW. If you're watching, you can see it on the screen. If you are watching, especially on YouTube, give us a thumbs up. I need that to get by this weekend. And thanks everybody. Go Sixers. Go Usti. See ya.
Let's do it. Come on. I believe.